Hey everybody, welcome back to the Frogs Fab YouTube channel. Today we're gonna get into some installation of some things. So today we're gonna try and get this installed. I gotta do a few things to that, but right now we're gonna throw this flywheel on there and get that torqued down. They provide bolts for the flywheel and they provide bolts for the clutch. And then they send you a paper when everything comes. They tell you the foot-pounds. They mark off what kit you've got. And then they come down here and they show you torque specs, so you don't have to guesstimate on that and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get this mounted up there because I already got the motor adapter plate up. And then once that's up, I'm gonna hold off on the clutch because I need to put this up there so I can mark where to cut a hole at in the cab. And then I've got to build up a transmission mount underneath too. So once I get all that finalized, then I'll pull it back off, we'll throw the clutch on, and it's going up there to live once and for all. So here we go. Heavy flywheel, and yes, we're gonna get into it here. Yeah. I'm ready.
Ready whenever you are.
Okay.
How's that gut feel? Am I lined up? Go up. I can't see.
Okay, now go. No.
Oh wait, don't move. Go down a little bit. Oh, on something.
It's in. It should be in. Put a top on.
Oh. Ah! Fucking die.
Oh my God. Ah!
So
Did you imagine the damage this thing would do if it come off?
I wouldn't want nothing to fucking do with it.
You'd be like, yeah, I didn't put that bitch on. And then I go back to the video evidence.
Has a lot on there.
I just used half of my life putting this thing up there. Alright everybody, so we got this on there, we got the bolts up in there. They call for 100 foot-pounds. I'm starting at 50 and I'll go over all of them, and then I'll go back over to 100, and then I'll mark them with the paint marker and they will be good to go. Foot-pounds. Alright, all of these things are nice and torqued. Now I'll take my nifty difty paint marker here. Okay. Alrighty everybody, we're under here with this big freaking heavy transmission, and we're gonna mate it up right now so we can cut a hole up in the shifter where it needs to go, and then I gotta fabricate a mount here. So I will update you here shortly. Hey there everybody, so we got the transmission in. We'll show you guys what we got going on here. Transmission's up in there with a couple of bolts on it, and got a hole cut through. We got the shifter up in here. I can trim it up a little bit, but seems to do everything. I don't have reverse, but I think I know why. Alright, so I got me some angle iron here I'm going to make out of my mount, and I'm going to cut it. I think I got the piece that I need. I'm just going to cut it and retrofit it onto some previous mounts that are on there, because I think it'll work really well, and then I'll stick a piece of like mud flap in between it for some sound isolation. Here we go. so we're gonna finally get into this transfer case debacle here that's a pain in the butt. So advanced adapters, you have the choice of getting this kit, which is just a throw together and the way you go, or you can take the time and you can order the actual splined kit for the NV4500 that goes in these NP205s. So stock autos, they have a 23 spline output, and it's just this coupler, right? And this is a 23 spline as well, and this just couples together, and they're allowed to get away with that because the autos, the torque converters kind of dampen the torque output of everything. Well, now on the NV4500, it's a 29 spline, and they send you this nice kit, relocator for the shifter and the shift rod, and then this. So this shiny part goes in the back of the NV4500. It's a 29 spline, and it's all smooth because there's a seal there. And then they fatten it up to a 23 spline, so then it'll all work together, and you don't really have to do any machine work, and everybody's sort of happy. The problem is now there's not that cushion anymore, and these like to break after a while. So I ordered the advanced adapter kit to convert that over, and the problem with doing that is you have to take this piece off right here. You have to unbolt this, and then you have to machine out the case on the inside to accept a bigger bearing. Once you do that, then you're pretty foolproof, unless you have an NP205 out of a 98 to 02 Dodge with an NV4500, then you're pretty good to go. But that's the debacle, and I haven't seen that advanced adapters kit yet, so I'm just going to throw this together for right now so that I can get it running and I can bed in the clutch. So here we go. Here we are, and I got this transmission cross member pretty much dialed. It's just got to get painted. The paint is what's going to hold it all together. So here's what I got. So on these 91s, you know, you got the little swing down arms in the previous videos, and then these bolts are for that undercarriage for the transfer case, and I'm going to keep that. But on those swing down arms, I just rigged this thing up. So I got the 2 bolts for a transmission, I got a couple pieces of rubber right here for isolation, and then I just got them up and I've gusseted them. So it's not perfect. Some things are different. It's just the way the mounts are. If you look, like this one's like a nice long sweep. This one's more of a down and over. So, but we got them all gusseted up here and everything. I'm pretty confident this isn't gonna break, and you know what, if it breaks, it breaks. It's the way she goes sometimes on these big jobs. Ooh, it's a little warm, but it's all beefed, it's all welded up and everything. So I'm gonna paint it, and then we're gonna install it for the final time. But now we're gonna throw the clutch in, and then once that's done, this thing should be in for the final time. And then it's a matter of drive lines, and it's pretty much ready to start and see what happens. So here we go. All right, so we got a crucial breaking point. So you have, at least I had to, some people say you don't have to, but I had to change the starter, and you just get a 98 Dodge 2500 diesel manual starter, and it bolts right in there. And on these autos, if you're doing this conversion, there's a neutral safety on the transmission, and it's this plug right here. It's this triple right here, and then what you have to do is you have to splice it, and it's the black and green and white and black wire, and then you have to splice those together, and once you splice them together, you're good to go. And then it thinks it's a neutral and everything's happy, and then it'll crank. So that was just a little thing that I just figured out, and it made me a little jumper wire to try and diagnose the issue, and I have diagnosed it. So here we go. You guys, we're gonna get into installing this clutch, and you're gonna watch me struggle, but we'll get into it. We'll get it. I have faith. Oh, all right, there we go. So, I can't remember what size these are. I think they're a 13. of course I have none of that down here. There we go, I do have a 13 down here. Sick. Tedious stuff that needs to be taken care of properly, because I'm one for so-called half-assing stuff. But, you know, if it's important, you know, take the time. You're in here. Once you're in here, you might as well do it properly. That's the way I look at it, and I try to follow that pretty good, because it's one thing if you mess up once because you're not sure what you're doing, but to do it because you try to cut corners, that's whenever it gets really annoying. Alright, so it's 18 to 20 foot-pounds on these pressure plate bolts. I have this old school torque wrench here, you know, it's got the little dial, it'll tell you what to do. I don't really like these, I like the click or the beep, but this is what I got to work with, so this is what we're gonna do. Alright, so we got some major progress going on here. So, as you guys seen, we got the clutch on. Now, I just put together, I just mated the transmission and the engine. So they are together. I'm gonna drop that slave cylinder down and bolt it up because it's right here, really easy to get to. And then I'll jack it up and put in my new cross member. Okay, so one important thing to note on this thing, see this thing right here, this plastic, right? Do not cut that while you have it. I'm sure a lot of you know that. I wasn't 100% sure, and phoned a friend, and no, you do not cut this. If you cut this, it like messes up the seating inside the cup there. Yeah, it does its own thing, and then it'll just kind of spit it out and everything's happy. But yes, do not cut that, just leave it on. This is pre-bled, so literally you set it in there, and then the second you push the clutch, it'll bed that in there, and everything is ready to go. So here we go. Well, we got some big progress right now. I'm to a stopping point right now because I have to go to a drive shaft shop now because my front drive shaft is too long and my rear drive shaft is too short. So it kind of squishes everything just up a little bit farther than what stock used to be, but alright, so I forgot to film it. That's my bad, but there is a little bit left, so we could probably film some of that. But I got the heat shield in. It's pretty nice stuff. It's more than perfect for this truck. I did mess up. It kind of goes over that way, so that's really frustrating. But I'm gonna look past it. But this is the stuff I got off Amazon, but it's got the aluminum backing on the one side, sticky on the one side, and it's about a 1/4 inch thick. Seems to be good enough. I mean, I paid 32 bucks for all of this, and I'm not gonna really complain too much, but I'm gonna stick some right here in that corner, right there in that corner, and then of course right in here, and I'll patch some in, and I'll try to get up in the firewall as best I can, kind of like in here. I think I did pretty good, so yeah. Alright, here's the semi-finished product here. Looks way better. Doesn't even look like I hacked it in there. You know how it goes. There's always something that can make your job look way better, even if you don't know what you're doing. So, last thing I think I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to cut some squares for right here and that corner. And then sound deadening's done. I'm debating whether I want to put the carpet in right now or not. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But here we go. Alright, you guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Look forward in the next one for the wrap up of the old first gen, and I got some other things I've got planned. I'll give you guys a sneak peek in the next video of what's going down, what I've got planned, kind of a realistic timeline, because it's gonna kind of go out a little bit, you know. Got it planned out for a little while, but you know, that's just how she goes sometimes. But as always, you guys be safe, have fun, and stay froggy.